What's up, guys? Back with another video. And today, Mike and I are going to be talking about which states have the most Super Bowl wins. So, what's up, Mike? You here?
What's going on, Dan?
Alright, yeah. So, today we're going to be combining all the teams in a state that have Super Bowl wins. And let's see if your state is superior. Let's find out.
So on the screen right now is a map of the United States, and every state that is colored yellow currently has an NFL team, including Washington, D.C. So that's going to be included on this list, even though they're not a state.
Yeah, so you might know the Redskins play there. So here's a list of the states that currently have NFL teams in alphabetical order. So starting with Arizona, California, Colorado, Florida, Georgia, Illinois, Indiana, Louisiana, Maryland, Massachusetts, Michigan, Minnesota, Missouri, Nevada, New Jersey, New York, North Carolina, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Tennessee, Texas, Washington State, Washington, D.C., and Wisconsin.
Illinois? You mean Illinois?
Same thing, same thing.
Alright, so you may know that many teams have never won a Super Bowl, but there's only one state that has never appeared in a Super Bowl. Before we get into this video, take a guess down below which team has never appeared in a Super Bowl. We'll be revealing the answer in about 30 seconds, so speed that one up.
So now there are multiple things I'd like to point out before we start the video. If teams have recently moved to other states, we will be using the state that they are currently in, giving that state Super Bowl win, even though the team might have won the Super Bowl in another state.
Once again, pointing out Washington, D.C. is included on this list.
And another thing I would like to include is that many states have the same amount of Super Bowl wins. So to break the tiebreaker, I'm going to be going by win percentage. Whoever has the better win percentage is going to rank higher on the list. Before we ask you the question, which state has never appeared in a Super Bowl? And that state is Michigan. So even though the Detroit Lions have been in the NFL since the 1970 merger, they have never ever been in the Super Bowl. It's kind of sad in my opinion.
Yeah, but who knows? Matt Stafford? My guy Matt Stafford might turn
I
up this
doubt
year.
it. Worst team in NFL history. So now we're going to be going from zero to most. So currently tied at 0 wins and 1 appearance, we have the Tennessee Titans, who've only appeared in 1 Super Bowl and have never won any.
And then also tied with the Titans, the Arizona Cardinals, who are 0-1 in Super Bowls, so they appeared once and they lost.
And they lost to the Steelers, so yeah. So next we have more states with 0 wins. We have Ohio that has the teams, the Bengals, who are 0-2 in Super Bowl appearances, and the Browns that have never been in a Super Bowl. So that is an 0-2 record and a 0% win rate.
Next team, 0-2, is going to be North Carolina. The Panthers are the team that plays there, and they have lost both of their 2 Super Bowl appearances. Because
So,
of Cam Newton,
yeah.
of course.
So staying in that same division, we're going to go to Georgia, and they have 0 wins with 2 appearances. And the only team that plays in Georgia are the Atlanta Falcons, who are 0-2 in Super Bowl appearances.
Coming up next is an embarrassing 2 states who have shown up in 4 Super Bowls each and have never won. That's right, 0-4 is Minnesota Vikings. Vikings are the only team that plays in Minnesota, and they're 0-4 in Super Bowls. Pretty pathetic.
And the next team that has also appeared in 4 Super Bowls and lost all of them is New York. And that team is the Bills. So you're probably wondering, why aren't the New York Giants and the New York Jets included in New York? Because they play in New Jersey at MetLife Stadium. So do not get confused about that.
Next up is Washington State, and this is the first state that we are talking about that actually has won a Super Bowl. The Seahawks have 1 win in 3 appearances, so they're 1-2 with a 33% win rate. We all know that they should be 2-1 if they didn't pass the ball on the 1-yard line, but they're 1-2.
So the next state on this list is Illinois. They've won.
Illinois.
It's Illinois, same thing. They have 1 Super Bowl win with 2 appearances, so that's a 50% win rate. And the only team that plays in Illinois are the Chicago Bears, who are 1-1 in Super Bowl appearances.
And they're not getting back there unless they bench Trubisky and start Nick Foles. Next state up is Louisiana, which is represented by the New Orleans Saints, who have only been in one Super Bowl, but they won, so they have a 100% win rate, but they've only been to one Super Bowl.
Yes. So next is the state Indiana, and they have 2 Super Bowl wins with 4 total appearances, with a 50% win rate. And the only team that plays in Indiana are the Indianapolis Colts.
Next up, Missouri. The Chiefs represent the state of Missouri. Obviously, they just won the Super Bowl last year, and that was their second Super Bowl win in 3 appearances. So 67% win rate, and they are 2-1 in Super Bowls.
And next are the state Maryland with 2 wins and 2 total appearances, with a 100% win rate. The Ravens have gone 2-0 in Super Bowl history.
Jeez, freaking best team in the AFC North. We know that for
Nah,
sure.
that's not true.
Next state is the Colorado, and the Denver Broncos represent this state. They are 3-5, so they have a whopping 8 Super Bowl appearances, but only a 37% win rate. It's pretty bad. So they're 3-5 in
Yeah,
Super Bowl.
that's pretty bad. So next is the state Florida. You may know that there are a couple teams in the state. So Florida, with all the teams they have, actually only have 3 Super Bowl wins with 6 total appearances, and that is a 50% win rate. And the teams that that play in Florida are the Dolphins, who are only 2-3 in Super Bowl history. The Buccaneers are 1-0 in Super Bowl history, and the Jacksonville Jaguars have never been to a Super Bowl.
Coming up next, there's 2 teams tied with Super Bowl appearances, wins, and win percentage. So the state of Nevada has 3 wins and 5 total appearances with a 60% win rate. Dan, you want to talk about the team from Nevada?
Yeah, so the Las Vegas Raiders actually moved to Nevada. They were currently in California and Oakland, but they moved, so I'm actually going to have to give Nevada the 3 wins. And the other team, of course, is the Washington, D.C. Redskins, and they have 3 wins and 5 total appearances, just like the Raiders, with a 60% win rate, and that is a 3-2 record in the Super Bowl.
Next up is one of the better teams in Super Bowls. We have from Wisconsin the Green Bay Packers. They have been in 5 total Super Bowls, and they have only lost once. 80% win rate, and they are 4-1.
That's pretty good. So next we have the state of Texas, with 5 Super Bowl wins and 8 total appearances. So that is a 62.5% win rate. And you may know there are 2 teams in Texas. The Cowboys have been 5-3 in Super Bowl history. That's pretty good. And the Texans have never.
Haven't been in the playoffs for a couple of decades.
Yeah, I know, but the Texans have never, ever been in a Super Bowl, obviously because they're one of the newer teams in the NFL.
Next up is New Jersey. That's right. Although they're the New York Giants and the New York Jets, they have their stadium in New Jersey, and that is why they're represented by that state. So New Jersey has 5 wins in 6 total appearances. Another good number. They are 83% win ratio, and the Giants are 4-1 in Super Bowls, and the Jets are 1-0.
So next is one of the biggest states in the United States, at California, and they only have 6 Super Bowl wins with 12 total appearances. So that is only a 50% win rate, and that is not good. So they have the 49ers, who were 5-0 before losing 2 straight Super Bowls. So that's 5-2, and they have the Rams, who are 1-3, and the Chargers, who are 0-1.
All right, so coming in at second place with the second amount of Super Bowl wins is the New England Patriots from Massachusetts. They have 6 wins and 11 total appearances with a 54% win rate.
So next we have number 1, the most superior state in the country, our home state, both of us, Pennsylvania. So they have 7 total wins and 11 total appearances with a 63.63% win rate. So I am a Steelers fan. We have a 6-2 record in Super Bowl history, and guess what, Mike? What do you have?
I'm an Eagles fan, and we are 1-2. Should be 2-1. We trolled one game. Mike Vick was not performing at his peak capacity, but obviously the Steelers carried this state, I guess you could say.
Oh, we carried.
But when you look at franchise history, at one point we were called the Steagles, and really the Eagles invited the Steelers to come help out. So like, technically we did them a favor by getting them started. So,
That was 30 years before the merger, so it doesn't really count. Yeah, so as you can see, Pennsylvania is the number one state with the most Super Bowl wins. It used to be California before the Raiders moved, but now Pennsylvania is the king, the best state in the country, in terms of football, of course. So that is it. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Anything you want to add?
no, hope you guys enjoyed this collab. We're gonna be dropping a schedule reaction video tomorrow night, so make sure you look out for that. Make sure you hit a subscribe button on the channel, turn on notifications, and thanks for the support.
That's it. Adios.